Oh,
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, Matilde, for your very kind introduction to our webinar. And also thank you very much to Professor Alessio Castello for joining us for this webinar. I'm very happy to have you here with us because of your extensive expertise in supervising students in their entrepreneurial project and also following them throughout the Monaco Ocean Protection Challenge. So basically, I have already in 2 minutes mentioned 2 topics that we are going to touch upon throughout our webinar. One is the entrepreneurial project, and another one is the Monaco Ocean Protection Challenge. So I suggest that as a beginning, we start off by linking entrepreneurship, specifically sustainable entrepreneurship, to the Master in Sustainability and Innovation Management based on your expertise and your knowledge you have in working with our program. So I'm just wondering, Professor Castello, could you share a little bit more with us about your expertise, or like your let's say more about your career path, let's say, that led you to become a mentor in sustainable entrepreneurship?
yes, thank you, Elena. I'm pleased to be here. As was said, my name is Alessio Castello, and I have a background which is fairly mixed from academia and professional activities. I've worked in, my background is in physics, actually. I studied physics, and then did some research in physics, and then sold my soul to the devil and got into business, and eventually through some years in fairly large corporations, I set up as a consultant for a while, for more than 10 years, and I consulted startups and investors in early stage companies. Some 10 years ago, then I came back into academia and joined IUM. Of course, I brought my baggage with me in a way, and in my life, I have created 7 companies myself, and I still have a couple of those which are running. So in a way, I try to join academic rigor with professional pragmatism and work with students towards promoting their activities and pushing them towards entrepreneurship. I do believe that entrepreneurship is the future for many of our societies, including and especially in sustainability, and therefore I'm very active in that area.
Great. So what I really liked about what you just explained us about your career path is that you moved between jobs, like from doing research in physics to consultancy to being a professor, again doing research and teaching. So this tells us already something that to be successful in entrepreneurship or broader sustainability and innovation management, one might need and even want to move between different careers. So that's already a very interesting point. You are involved in entrepreneurial activities in our master program, such as supervising the entrepreneurial project, helping the students with applications to the Monaco Ocean Protection Challenge and also the hackathon, just to mention 3 examples. And why do you think that students should engage in such type of applied activities? What would you say are they gaining from such practical applied exposure?
Let me say that at IUM, we strongly believe in experiential learning. I think it's one of the value that we put at the forefront of our education. And so we believe in learning by doing. And we also, and I'm kind of living evidence of that, we also promote and stimulate entrepreneurship. to the point that we have entrepreneurship in our mission statement. If you read our mission statement, you will find the word entrepreneurship, and I'm proud for that. Now, when you combine those two elements, it is clear that we want to create, develop, and encourage experiential learning initiatives in the area of entrepreneurship. I have the honor of coordinating all entrepreneurial activities at IUM, and I am truly convinced that we add value with these initiatives. Now, first of all, let me just go through our offering, and I'll try to make sense of that. But first of all students at IUM, no matter the program, they have a core or an elective course in entrepreneurship. So all are exposed to entrepreneurship. We do believe that entrepreneurs are the ones promoting the most radical and innovative concepts and solutions. And we think that entrepreneurs will bring the change that is needed to cope with a more sustainable society and business. I think that IUM would not be as effective at preparing our students without all these entrepreneurial activities. Now, you mentioned the hackathon. We say we are the only university in the Principality of Monaco, and we say that Monaco is our campus. So we let students work and learn on campus. Let me explain. Monaco Tech is the official state-owned incubator in the Principality. And they are successful, of course, at incubating young companies willing to develop and grow within the Principality. As part of the entrepreneurship course, our students get the possibility to do a business hackathon in partnership with Monaco Tech. How does it happen? They help incubated companies to solve some of their critical issues. Now, under the supervision and coordination of IUM faculty, students must come up with concrete, implementable solutions for the founders of these companies. They need to pitch their solution to the founders themselves. And it's an amazing learning experience. Sometimes they have to tell the CEO that their strategies are not correct or ideal. And as you can imagine, it takes quite some communication skills to do that. And if you don't have them, you develop them. School to learn. So through the hackathon, students develop their analytical skills, creative thinking, problem solving, communication, and they have fun doing it. What could be better? So we are really lucky to be able to offer them these type of experiences. You also mentioned the entrepreneurial project. I don't know if, well, maybe we'll talk more about it later, but in a way, all IUM students have the possibility to work on their own project, one that they want to work on professionally, instead of doing the end of program internship, or on top of the internship, actually. Now, the entrepreneurial project is extremely demanding. I have to be very clear on that. The aim of the entrepreneurial project is to prepare students to launch their venture once they complete their studies. As you know, out there, the competition is quite fierce. So we push them, challenge them, ask them all the questions that bother them in a way that they don't really want to face, but they have to answer to be successful in the future. The process to get admitted is also quite challenging. Students need to apply for the entrepreneurial project by filling in a project description, and then there is a jury that meets and analyze all the projects, and the outcome of that can be approval, request for further information, or refusal of the project. We refuse not many, but it happens. Project. What drives the decision is quite simple, actually. We ask ourselves if by letting the student work on a project, we offer them the best chances to succeed. If the answer is yes, then the students will work on it. Now, once the project is approved, we assign a supervisor to the student. Supervisor is someone who is a professor or a professional who is knowledgeable in the field of activity for that specific project. We go out, dig into our network, and identify the right person to work with the students. Then, during the following 6 months, students work with their supervisors to develop a business plan for the initiative that they want to work on. Mind you, in a way, it's not an academic theoretical business plan. We need a concrete business-oriented one. Students must prepare forecast financial statements, marketing plan, contact suppliers, reach out to potential clients. They must make it real. And by the end of a project, ideally, students are ready to apply for a local incubator, Monaco Tech, and pitch their projects to investors and partners. It is quite demanding for us, to be honest, but extremely rewarding for the students.
Yes, I totally see the key points here. As Matilde already said in the very beginning of our webinar, really learning by doing and also experimenting with key concepts and approaches of entrepreneurship early on in somebody's career, which is great because studying such type of master program, you really have the time and opportunity to experiment. Later on, when you maybe are already, for example, employed at a company, have other commitments, it might be a little bit more challenging resource-wise to experiment with your own business model. Here you could have, once you have done the courses, with the supervision of our faculty. And just for the background, because Alessio, you said basically students have 6 months of time to work on a business plan with the supervision of our faculty. What happens before the 6 months of our participants? They might not yet know that before the 6 months, the students have 10 months of courses. 10 months of courses at IUM campus, where they learn basically more the theoretical concepts, the different approaches that can be used for developing a business plan. And as part of the 10 months of courses, we also have already more applied components that matter for entrepreneurship, such as you just mentioned, the hackathon, and also the Monaco Ocean Protection Challenge, which is a major highlight of our program. Could you tell us a little bit more about what it is and why it is important and so relevant to apply to it?
Oh, yes. The Monaco Ocean Protection Challenge is actually an international business plan pitching competition for students and fresh graduates who want to showcase new business concepts with a measurable positive impact on the ocean. So the focus here, as the name says, is ocean protection. It is an initiative that is almost a decade old, and I was lucky enough to be part of a funding team. And as you remember, I said earlier that Monaco is our campus, is IUM campus. Well, this challenge is clearly an illustration of that. We developed the MOPC in partnership with other local public and private institutions. So the founding partners are IUM, us. We have the Oceanographic Institute of Monaco, the Prince Albert II Foundation, and Monaco Impact. Now, Monaco Impact is a network of local entrepreneurs who have been successful, and they develop and promote projects that have a positive social impact and contribute to the soft power of a principality of Monaco in the world. Now, in less than 10 years with the MOPC, we have had an exponential growth. This last edition saw projects from about 118 different universities and representing more than 65 countries. So the momentum is really gathering around this challenge, and we are very proud of that. Projects submitted to the MOPC are incredible, and solutions are very innovative and creative. The energy from participants is palpable. You can touch it. Now, the final event is at the Oceanographic Museum, where the grand finale takes place. And the finalists presents their idea to a panel of international jurors and sometimes the prince himself come to the event. And anyway, they learn by pitching, getting challenged, and they need to present some feasibility study of their project so that the MOPC is challenging, fun, and instructive. To make this even better, we can create, upon request, and we work towards that, we create mixed teams composed of our students and some engineering school students with technical solutions to tackle sustainability issues. So the engineers provide the technology, our student provide the business acumen, and combine, they propose a solution for the MOPC. This is also exposing them to a different mindsets, to people who think more technology than business. And of course, it is an amazing and quite fascinating experience. We are very proud of it, actually.
It sounds very, very interesting. Also, the combination between engineering and business, because yes, let's be honest, some of the solutions that we need to address pressing sustainability problems require often an engineering solution, a bit of more of a technical solution. So that's amazing that there is this combination between the two fields of expertise. Also, something that is important to mention, the students in the program, as I said before, during the 10 months of courses, they have some courses more on management, some others on entrepreneurship, and also 4 courses on engineering. So they get there as well, a basic understanding of key topics and key technologies in engineering that can help entrepreneurs or companies develop and implement sustainable solutions. Yeah, great. So basically, assuming that the students are participating in the hackathon, participating in the Monaco Ocean Protection Challenge, potentially also doing the entrepreneurial project after the courses, how would you say do these initiatives prepare the students for the real world as an entrepreneur?
Well, okay, thank you for the question. They actually are real-world challenges in sustainable developments. The hackathon asks them to find solutions to problems that actual real companies have. This year, for example, we had companies that developed sustainable cleaning products. They asked our students to come up with innovative ideas for more sustainable packaging. This is clearly sustainability at work. With the real-world concern, the real-world companies are facing those concerns. They had to come up with cost, development, production, time, etc. So it was a real-world experience in a way. Also, the Monaco Ocean Protection Challenge exposes them to incredible solutions. The innovation is amazing, but not just the innovation matters. They must also be implementable. So the jury selects the finalists based on, of course, on the innovative aspects of the project, but also on their actual feasibility. Again, real-world cases. When you combine this with the academic and pedagogic rigor of our in-class courses that you just described, Elena, well, you get the best possible bundle of learning experiences and experiential learning, the best possible bundle to prepare our students for the real-world challenges that they will face upon graduation. I hope it helps.
Yeah, great. No, makes sense. And this leads me to my next point. Actually, when talking about preparing students for the real world, what comes afterwards? Somebody might wonder, prepare for what? For which type of job? For which type of role? So just to sum it up in very broad terms, One could go for, in the future, for a managerial role or for a consultancy role in sustainability, and also could really go for developing an own startup that targets a pressing sustainability issue. So there are overall, if I may use now very generic terms, these three different options, and talking more and focusing more on entrepreneurship as a career, like if somebody really has drive and motivation to develop a sustainable startup, what do you think are the biggest opportunities for entrepreneurship in addressing sustainability challenges today?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Interesting question. I'd say that by tackling environmental and social problems, sustainable entrepreneurs, they often develop some pioneering technologies and business model and show that profits and purpose can and should coexist. It is very important to mention that the time is now, and there are very famous investors and institutions that are joining this move. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, spoke about the importance of sustainability. He wrote that sustainability must be used to create value for investors. The sovereign fund of Norway, well, one of the largest sovereign funds in the world, they have made sustainability at the heart of the investment strategy. Initiatives that are not sustainable or that do not show a sustainability angle are simply discarded or even de-invested. Some pioneering and famous venture capitalists, they are stepping away from looking at exclusively the financial return of the ventures, but they also look at their sustainability angle. Now, since you ask in which areas we find the biggest opportunities, it's fairly easy to think at the areas which have the major impact. In a way, of course, technology, as I said before, is very important. It is certainly an incredible ally of sustainable entrepreneurs. So then we need to offer tools and solutions that align profitability with ecological responsibility. And of course, technology can do all that. Smart energy solutions come to mind as a first application of sustainability initiatives. Waste management, recycling, but also when you think of data analytics for resource efficiency, we need to reduce waste. Sustainability also refers to reducing waste, and therefore making resources more efficient is extremely important. Sustainable agriculture. We can do extremely precise farming these days, and as you certainly know better than I do, and so technology helps also towards achieving a better or a more sustainable agriculture. But of course, there are so many areas that emerge every day that it is very hard to pinpoint to one in particular.
Thank you very much for mentioning these different fields or sectors where students, anyone basically who has the drive for it, to develop a sustainable startup. There is, however, even though these are all different fields, there is one common characteristics that they have, is that the solution that the startup proposes can be scaled to different geographical areas. And this is something very important to keep in mind. I mean, ideally, it would not be an entrepreneurial idea that can only be applied in zone 1 or zone 2 or zone 3 in terms of geography, but it can be scaled across national borders. This is something that really investors are looking for, the scalability of the proposal, of the idea. Great. I'm moving on to one of my final questions, and here I would encourage while I ask Alessio my last question, I would encourage our participants to type any questions that you might have in our chat so that you would not miss our answers. Basically, based on the background we have at the moment, hearing from you in our webinar, what advice would you give to students who want to enroll in this program and really pursue throughout the program a sustainability and entrepreneurship path? What advice would you give them?
Okay, I think that it's very interesting. First of all, as a student, you join 𝐈𝐿, our program, to learn, and we want really to help you learning as best as you can, putting all our resources at your service. Now, I said before, 𝐈𝐿 is the only university in the Principality of Monaco, so basically the only university in the whole country. And we have a very extensive network of contacts, links with public and private institutions out there. I urge students enrolling in our program who are interested in developing and working on entrepreneurial or learning more about entrepreneurial activities. I urge them to leverage our network. In a way, they should use 𝐈𝐿 to the best of its potential. We are here to help you, and we are here to help you grow, learn, but also to develop your entrepreneurial mindset and initiatives. It's when they do entrepreneurial project, they have a mentor, as I said before, and work in close partnership with the mentor. And they had to deliver a business plan, not just because it is an academic deliverable, but because it is essential to have a sound business plan to pursue an entrepreneurial activity. So in a way, my recommendation is do what you want, pursue your dreams. The time is now, and in a way, put your energy and efforts at the service of what you really want to achieve. We are here to help. We give the theoretical frameworks and knowledge in the first part of the program, and then we help you make it happen in the second part of it. We want you to succeed, because if you succeed, we succeed. So my recommendation would be work hard, study hard, push us to support you as best as we can. We will be here to support you. Make us help you, in a way, would be my recommendation.
Yes, I very much liked, Alessio, that you said that basically there are two key components here, like the students get a lot of support from the professors, both the permanent faculty, the external professors who join the students in class. So there is a lot of support from us. Still, students need to put in the hard work. And yes, hard work will always pay off. Maybe not immediately the moment you work hard, but in the long term, hard work pays off 100% in one or the other way. And it's always like a learning experience. The combination of the support you get from us and others and the effort you put in, this is really what's gonna make a change in the long term as a learning experience combined of different aspects. I'm just double checking with Matilde whether there is any question from our audience.
Well, first, thank you to the both of you. It was really interesting, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed the conversation and learning more about the program and the opportunities. We actually have one question from someone that is currently studying a BS in Ocean Science and Marine Conservation. And the person is wondering whether students without an undergraduate background in business may be at a disadvantage or find it particularly challenging to succeed in the master program.
Can I take it if it's okay? I am a living example.
Let's start.
Can I? I think I am a living example that it works. As I said, I studied physics. My studies were in physics. I did research in physics, and eventually I turned to business. And I did it by going back to school, of course. Back then, there were no sustainability-oriented programs, so I did an MBA. But there's no, I'd say, what matters is the mindset more than the actual acquired knowledge. We're here to provide you with the needed knowledge. If your mindset is the right one, there's only the sky is the limit, as they say. Sorry, Elena. I wanted to share my personal experience on that.
Yeah, fantastic. I think we were just too eager in answering the questions. So you get an example of our eagerness to to help our students and to answer their questions. To the person who asked this question, I can say that your background is highly relevant for the master program and also for what is going on in terms of sustainability in the Principality of Monaco, as ocean preservation is one of the key sustainability priorities of the Principality. And interesting enough, in the current cohort, we have a couple of biologists and also marine biologists. They came in, being a little bit concerned about taking the more managerial courses, such I don't know, like the strategy course or also accounting and finance. I can tell you now that they are done with all the courses. They did really well. They did really well, and the professors were very impressed how quickly the evolvement of competencies in terms of knowledge and skills happens. So you can feel just based on your background, you can feel confident should you want to apply for this program and take on an entrepreneurial path.
If I may just add the last sentence on this very specific question. Look, once again, you probably know that in 10 days there will be a United Nations Summit on Ocean in Nice. And actually, we are present there. I was invited to contribute my thoughts on the entrepreneurial initiatives aimed at protecting the ocean. And actually, I came up with a sort of a motto for that was join us, the ocean needs talents. And I would like to use it here again, saying that go for your entrepreneurial venture. The world needs talents, and you have been developing your talents, and we can help you making them happen.
Thank you very much for answering this question. And again, I would like to say to our auditors, if you have any question about the program, we can schedule a session together to discuss it. We can also schedule a call if you need to talk about admission process. So that's it for the questions today. So again, thank you to our auditors. Thank you again to the both of you for being here, sharing about your experience and the program, and for conducting this super interesting session. And I hope to meet our auditors very soon at IUM and maybe enrolling them in the program. So thank you again.
You?
Thank you very much to both of you, especially to Alessio for joining us and sharing your insights on our activities. And also thank you very much to the participants of this webinar.
And thank you. And before closing the session, sorry, we just received the last question, which is, after 10 months in Monaco, can you decide whether to do a thesis project, capstone project, or can you do that abroad? So maybe I can go for this one. Basically, you will have the full time of the program to decide and discuss with the professor, program director, to decide what is the best for you and for your career goals. And yes, you can do your internship in Monaco or anywhere in the world. And our professor will be here to help you decide what to do, but also our career services. So for the full program, they will be here to support you and help you for that. So I answered the question. If you have anything to add, of course, you are the best person to talk about it, but yeah.
Okay, by experience, last year I worked with the student.
It was very well.
I worked with the student on her entrepreneurial project, and she carried it out in Norway. So she's Norwegian, and her network is in Norway. So she moved back to Norway to work on her entrepreneurial project. And of course, we were on a very regular contact. So absolutely, whatever your decision is, whether you go for a thesis, for an entrepreneurial project, there are no geographical restrictions, of course.
And also keep in mind that some decisions might happen later in the 10 months. So if it's totally normal to decide what you are gonna go for also later in the 10 months. Of course, there are submission deadlines. You will need to fill out a form and hand it in by a specific deadline, but you can take your time, let's say during winter and also early spring to figure out what you would like to do. Yes, definitely. So of course you should, as Alessio said, work hard on it, on figuring out what you would like to do, what type of project you would like to go for, but it's easier if you don't feel pressured to make a decision as soon as possible by the deadline. That of course, and that also would be enough.
Well, thank you. This time was the last question, I promise. And again, thank you very much. The session is recorded, so if you want to watch it again, it will be available on YouTube, and you can also find all other kind of webinars with alumni, with Elena Tavella about the program presentation. So feel free to visit our YouTube channel, and you will find a lot of explanation and information there. So again, thank you to our auditors, thank you to the both of you, and I wish you a great evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.